What is the best air purifier under $100? In this video today, we're going to attempt to answer that question by looking at three different options in that approximate price range that are currently out on the market. We're going to look at each one of these units. We're going to see what they do well, what they don't do well, and hopefully by the end of the video, we're going to give you a better idea of what you can expect for an air purifier in this price range. First up, we have the Lavoie LVH13, and that is this small unit right here. Now this unit has a few advantages. First of all, it is a smaller unit. As you can see, it is the smallest of the three here on the table today. So in terms of portability and being able to carry it around and move it to different areas in the same room or between different rooms, this unit is definitely easy to do that with since it's so small. With this unit, you can also turn all of its lights off. There's actually a switch on the top control panel here. You press that switch and you can cycle through different settings for dimming the lights up here. You can even set it to completely turn the lights off. And so if you want to use this particular air purifier in a bedroom at night, for example, and you don't want light shining into the room, you can do it with this air purifier. It gives you that ability. Another strong positive for this unit is the fact that it has a HEPA filter and a carbon filter. They're actually combined into one filter. And while that's not necessarily a positive, the fact that it has a HEPA filter and the fact that it has a carbon filter, that it has both of those filters, both for particle filtration and for gas filtration, that's definitely a positive as well. On the negative side of things, there's definitely something to look out for here, and this is true for a lot of units under $100, and that's the fact that this unit just doesn't have a lot of output. It's simply not able to process a lot of air per unit time. When we talk about output, we usually talk about CFM, and that's the cubic feet of air per minute that is able to be processed by the air purifier. This unit here has a CFM well under 100 CFM, and because of that, it really cannot be used in any reasonably sized rooms. Next up, we have the Germ Guardian AC 4825, and that's this unit on the end here. It's a tower unit. The air blows out through the front of the unit, unlike these other two where the air blows out through the top. The air is also taken in through the back of the unit, unlike these other units here where the air is taken in through the bottom here on all sides. Same with the Blue Air unit here where air is taken on all sides on the bottom here. With the Germ Guardian, the air is only taken in through the back here. On the positive side of things, the Germ Guardian actually has sufficient output for smaller rooms. Its output is at approximately 130, 140 CFM. At that output, you have sufficient CFM for smaller rooms. So the Germ Guardian is going to work. It's going to be able to lower particle concentration effectively in smaller rooms. So that is definitely a strong positive there. It also has a HEPA filter again. It also has a carbon filter. Now, the carbon filter on the Germ Guardian is not that high of a quality. And here again, there's something to look out for in this price range. Carbon filter quality is generally not going to be that great in this price range, but with the Germ Guardian, it is especially poor. So in terms of gas filtration, where carbon filter is important, the Germ Guardian is just not going to do very well. So definitely look out for that when you look for air purifiers in this price range. Finally, we have the Blue Air Blue Pure 211. It's this cylindrical unit here in the middle, cylindrical just like the Lavoie. But in any case, the Blue Air unit here is also at the same output, at approximately the same output as the Germ Guardian. It actually has a little bit less of an output here, but nonetheless, it has, once again, at about 120 CFM on this unit, it has sufficient CFM for smaller rooms. So again, we see a unit that has sufficient output for smaller rooms in this price range, unlike the Lavoie again. So with this unit, you have sufficient output. There's other strong positives here as well. For one, this unit is very light. It's about 3 pounds or so, very light to pick up. Another positive is the pre-filter. Now, this can be a positive or a negative depending on how you look at it. The pre-filter is on the outside here and it's exchangeable with pre-filters of different colors. So you can change those out and you can have a different look to your unit depending on which pre-filter you use. On the negative side of things, larger particles like hairs and things like that are constantly coming up to this unit. It's constantly being drawn into this unit, just like it is with all these other units. The difference is these other units like this Lavoie has a grill here. The Germ Guardian on the back here also has a grill. This unit does not have a grill there that's keeping out those larger objects. So the larger particles are going to be drawn onto this fabric and it's actually going to stick to the fabric as well if it's something like a hair or something like that. And so the fact that there's no grill is actually a negative here in terms of having to look at that, it's a positive in terms of the fact that you have all these different colors available for the pre-filter. The Blue Air unit is also very energy efficient. So if you're looking for a highly energy efficient unit in this price range, the Blue Air unit is definitely the way to go there. The 411 here, the Blue Air unit draws less than 10 watts on all settings. The Lavoie goes up to about 30 watts. The Germ Guardian goes up to about 44 watts. So you really have much less power draw on the 411 than you do on the other two units on the table here. On the negative side of things, the Blue Air unit is a little bit more expensive than the other two units in most cases. The Blue Air unit can even go upwards of $120, which in that case, it wouldn't even qualify as a unit under $100. However, it still can be had sometimes for around $100 or just under $100. But it's definitely one of the more expensive options here. The Lavoie normally retails for around $90 or so. The Germ Guardian is closer to around $80. So on the negative side of things here for the Blue Air unit, it definitely is one of the more expensive options. Another negative here is the fact that it comes equipped with a proprietary particle filter. The other two units here, like we've gone over already, the Lavoie comes equipped with a HEPA filter. The Germ Guardian comes equipped with a HEPA filter. The Blue Air unit here does not. It has a proprietary particle filter. Now, things are not all that bad. The filter will still take care of the vast majority of particles, but the manufacturer here guarantees it only up to 99% for particles in the 2.5 micron range. With the HEPA filters on these other units, you have a standard filter, a filter that has been made to standard specifications where the efficiency must be at or greater than 99.97% efficiency for particles 0.3 microns or larger. So you have filters made to a higher standard on the Lavoie unit and the Germ Guardian unit. In terms of noise output, that's something we haven't discussed here. The noise output on all three of these units is going to be equal. Now, for units in the under $100 range, you're dealing primarily with units that have a lower output. And even in a small room, they have to be set to maximum settings to even reach that low output. And here we're talking about the 411, we're talking about the Germ Guardian, we're not even talking about the Lavoie. To reach that sufficient CFM that we talked about earlier for smaller rooms, these units have to be set to maximum settings. So they are going to make a lot of noise on those maximum settings. So keep that in mind. But comparing them to each other, they make about an equal amount of noise. What you may want to do is step up to a top rated unit, and there you're going to be able to get a unit that is around 250 CFM. And so you can run that unit on a lower setting where it's not going to make nearly as much noise if noise output is a concern for you and you need a unit for a smaller room. Now, in terms of saying which unit is the best unit under $100, we would point you to all of the positives and negatives we've gone over at the beginning of this video. If you look at the positives of each of these units, you can decide what is important to you. If you look at the negatives that we pointed out in this video, you can decide what are you not willing to part with. Are you not willing to compromise on the filter type? Well, then the Blue Air unit is eliminated. Are you not willing to compromise on energy efficiency? Well, then the Blue Air unit is really going to be your only option. So depending on what your needs are, we would steer you one direction or the other. By listening to this video, by really looking at what we've highlighted, what the positives are of one unit compared to the other, by highlighting what the negatives are for one unit compared to the other, we hope that we've illuminated which unit might be the best unit for you. And that's really what we've hoped to do today.